My name is Bryan Thompson, and I represent the Miami Web Series Festival. I founded that festival 2 years ago. We're going into our 3rd season now, and I'm glad to be here.
Bonjour, je suis Martin LAPISSONde. I'm the founder and director to Buenos Aires Web Fest in Argentina. You?
That was easy. I'm Suzette, founder and executive director at Vancouver Web Fest. We had our first festival in 2014, so we'll be going into our 3rd year this coming March.
Hi, I'm ROBBINS. I run Austin Web Fest in Austin, Texas, and we're also going to our 3rd year. We just had our 2nd in June.
Kathie from YONEDA, and I'm from LA Web Fest. We are the first one that came around, and we are now in our 7th year.
Hi, I'm Meredith Burkholder. I'm the founder and director of Web Fest Berlin. We just had our 1st edition this last September the 4th and 5th, and here I am for a year or 2 now.
Hi, my name is KANG. I'm Korean. I'm the director and founder. Korean Web Fest is called K Web Fest. It was last July 30 and 31st was closed, so we are ready to go. 2nd one. Thank you.
We saved the last one, best for last.
Sorry, I'm a little late, but I'm representing Marseille, and French people have a reputation to do it. I'm a little late. So my name is DUQUESNE. I'm not the most legitimate person to talk about Marseille Web Fest. The most legitimate person, of course, is Jean-Michel, and he asked me to talk about Marseille. And when I was there on the 1st edition in 2011, and I attended all the editions, except the 2nd one, because I had a very special, nice event personally during the fest, so I couldn't attend. Otherwise, I was there for the other editions, so I can talk a little bit about the fest.
Thank you. So, to start off, what made you want to start your festival? What was it that made you say, I've got to do a Web-series festival?
I'll jump in there. Our inspiration actually came from LA Web Fest. I went out to LA Web Fest their 3rd year, and I saw what they were doing, and it just made sense. There's no reason with the digital series format why we didn't have something like this in Austin. So for me, it was just something that had to be done. It's just such a huge market now. It's growing every day. So we wanted to be a part of it.
Same thing, I was in LA Web Fest in 2013 and talking to Mike, and one of the things that we talked about was that there was no festivals in Canada at all, and it was just something that really hit home. And with my background in business and stuff, I decided that one of the biggest things was to bring Canada on the map for web festivals.
In Argentina, have a lot of web series produced for independent produce, and the producers need money and need a special space, and we create a festival because it's very important to give a special place to make more important the new format and separate to the cinema.
I was involved in several web series of my own, and I just sort of assumed that one existed in Miami. I knew I was going to be moving back after my time in the military, and when I looked it up, I realized that there wasn't one. And I think that probably all of us realize that it's an industry where you just have to have contact. You have to know the right people if you want to make money at your craft. And so I just felt that there was a lot of talent that really needed to be showcased in that particular part of the country, and it didn't exist, so I agree.
Sure. I've been in Hollywood as a Korean for 18 years, make feature films, and to see the front runner in Hollywood, they do Web-series since 2010, right, for LAPISSonde. So I've been looking over, and also I made my first Web-series in Korea, it's animation, it's called Kimchi Warrior. So I saw it that in 2014, I learned a lot of things like Web-series from all over the world. And I look back to Korea, not only Korea, in Asia. I mean, there's nothing like Web-series like that. Also, they start making Web-series a little like they don't have exactly format. So I decided maybe I can bring over the idea from LAPISSonde to Korea for Asia. So that's why I 2015, I talked to Michael, the founder of LAPISSonde, and we make a deal associate with LAPISSonde. So actually we select about 70 web-series together. So that's why all the web-series from LAPISSonde, also Marseille, Roma Web Fest, also Melbourne Web Fest, also awards all together. We're showing about 96 web-series last July 31st. So that's why I think it's, since then, China, also Japan, Thailand, or other Asian territory, those people very excited. And also, I mean, everybody they're using different terminology, especially the language. Let's say Korean, they're using web drama. So that's why they couldn't able to find information from online web series. So they don't know. So that's why I thought it's the best way let them know. And now is a good chance to make a bridge between Asia to Western. So like network together. So that's why we need a period like this.
Well, in Berlin, there's obviously a huge history of film and film festivals, and as well with, in the last few years, it's become a real hotbed for startups and technology and gaming. And I've been working on a web series there in Berlin just after I moved there. And hey, who can I meet? What can I do? What can I work on? What can I help out on? And it ended up winning the graduate prize in Melbourne, which then took it to Marseille and then to LA. And I started thinking, this is kind of perfect for Berlin. This is exactly what we could use here. And so then came to Marseille last year, actually. And after that, it was set for sure. I was definitely going to make a Web Fest in Berlin, and it's much needed. You know, it's a place where all of that kind of comes into one, and all the resources there, all the people are there. People are making, people are creating in Berlin, especially. It's the energy is exciting, and people are making and collaborating and doing constantly. So it's a really nice fit, and we'll be there for a while.
Hi, I just wanted to let you know, first of all, I just got an email from Michael Jacques, and he said to tell everybody hello, and he sends his best. He is here in spirit with all of us. I want to tell you a little bit about how he got started. In 2009, he started noticing all the web series that were coming up, and they were so, to him, very innovative, and he thought, gosh, this is something. They're going into territories and genres and subjects that sometimes you can't show on television, and they're done in such a concise way. He got me very excited about it. For a whole year, he did nothing but watch web series, took notes on what were the ones that he felt were most popular, and
So, well, I believe that the way the Marseille Web Fest was born was the passion from Jean-Michel Albert, the president and the founder of Marseille Web Fest, was seeing a lot of great audiovisual creations on the web, and Jean-Michel at that time, like a little more than 5 years ago, was thinking those talents should have a place to broadcast in front of an audience and to gather. And I know that Kathie has been a key person for Jean-Michel and Michael Attractive, the founder of the Los Angeles Web Festival, to meet. And so Jean-Michel made contact with Michael and said, I heard about your fest, I know that you're doing something great, and I want to launch a fest in France. So Michael said to Jean-Michel, come and see what we are doing in LA. And so in October 2011, the first edition took place. And yeah, that's I believe how the fest was born.
Thank you. So, with web series, a lot of us have obstacles when making it. So a lot of people don't understand what web series is. What obstacles did you face with trying to start your festival?
Well, rapidly, I can talk about the French market. I know that it's just, well, I believe everywhere. It's a big thing to launch such an event. It requires a lot of energy. And in 2011, web series were not as developed as today, and I believe not an obstacle, but the difficult part of launching such an event in France at that time, 5 years ago, was to convince different profiles of players that would be around the fest or support the fest, and explain them that there's something happening there. You know, it's easy not to see what's happening in the web series world. You have to pay attention to what is happening. You have to be online and to be curious. And if you are not curious, if you were not curious at that time, you could easily not realize that something big was starting. So Jean-Michel really had this vision, but the difficulty is to convey this vision to the potential partners.
The biggest challenge that we faced was making people understand what we are. Miami has quite a few film festivals. There's a pretty robust film and arts community in Miami. But making people understand that it's not about technology, but it is about filmmaking just in a different way, that was challenging. But you have to bridge that gap, and we knew we had to do that if we were going to get the community behind us and get sponsorships, get the government behind us so we can get grants and things that you just have to have in order to have a foundation that can last over time. So that has been, it was a challenge for us, and luckily we've been able to kind of find our way through that. But definitely, you say web series, you say Web Fest, you're going to have to say more than that if you really want people to get it.
Well, in the first time when I started to the festival in Argentina, we need to explain for the government and the sponsor the new format, because we need to explain it's not a short films, it's not a TV series, It's a web series, it's a new format, it's a new language, and this is the most big problem in the first time.
I would say that one of the biggest challenges is if you don't know what WebFest is, or you haven't had any experience with the WebFest, then you're really starting from ground zero. It's a business, and there's a lot of research involved, paperwork, business plans, things like that. But then you also have to think about hiring people, volunteers. There's so many variables that if you haven't done it before, it's very challenging. But the great thing about it is you have all these peers to go to and talk with and discuss what we can do, how we can change it, how we can make it better. So, but the challenge for us, I think the biggest thing is kind of expounding on what you said is nobody really knew what a Web Fest was, nobody knew what a web series was. So we're really breaking ground here.
One of the things that I found when I was doing it, was basically with the web series, again, the community comes together and supports each other, and it's absolutely amazing. Again, with the festivals supporting each other, but it's getting the public in. Like, one of our biggest challenges in Vancouver is we had over 1,100 people come last year to the festival, and we did have some panels that we purposely made so that the public would come in. We had an animal panel with the animals at the festival the whole weekend. We had a wolf that came up from California, some falcons, and the idea was that the people could, be with them the whole time, and just get very interactive. But the challenge is getting the public, because the web series creators and everybody involved with the web series or at the festival, they all come out and they all meet each other, and they network, and again, having web festival directors, etc., supporting each other. It's amazing. But because everyone says, well, why would I come to a festival when I can watch the web series online? And of course, you can, but in my time of doing this in the last few years, I've seen more web series that I've never had any idea about, and it's opened my eyes to what's out around the world. And it's still a challenge to get the people in to the festival itself. And we're always going to have our creators there, we're always going to have our networking. So that's what we're working on, is opening up to the actual public.
One of the things that I think all of us have in common is finding the funding for web series. In California, there are no grants for that. And we all know the U.S. government is not going to be handing over any money to do a web fest. They don't even hand over money for film festivals. It's just the way our government is. But what's wonderful about this is that, in a way, it kind of spurs us all on to say, well, in spite of that, we're still going to do this. There's that spirit of entrepreneurial spirit that I think most of us as creators have, that we have that passion, that need, that we want to get that story out, or we want to express ourselves in some way, so we find a way. LA Web Fest is a 100% volunteer organization, and it's hard putting on one of the largest web fests, but it's very rewarding. And what's even more exciting is that it's become sort of a meeting ground, because every single one of these people have had a chance to experience it, and the reason why we love coming to each other's web fest is because we find new material, which then brings your material from France, Italy, wherever you are, to all these different countries. And that is, it's worth the challenge, and it's worth having it to know that you can see other material and be equally entertained.
We're watching you.
I think in Germany, and like Kathie saying, everyone's wondering where is the funding. It's the conversation around a lot of panels at the Web Fest, where is the monetization of web series? And it's very similar sort of struggle that we face as Web Fest founders. And it's, convincing, especially in Germany, where people high quality content when there's so much out there, you know, here's a curated selection. To explain to people, you know, the value of what that is definitely the biggest challenge.
That's right. Biggest challenge is funding. So especially first time Web-series festival in Korea and in Asia. But actually we are pretty lucky. Korean government they understand because I think the sense on technology they understand what's the software. And first I met Korean officials and I explained this is going to be future and they understand quickly. So they need money and so with the Korean government money and each get other corporation sponsors. So that's why even the first time we have some nice funding, so we can get a nice hotel. And they invite 9 founders from all over the world. And, I mean, make it look good, you know. But first impression is very important. So I really appreciate all the 9 founders came over and raised support LAPISSONDE, Marseille, and Roma, other founders. They came over Korea at the event. We introduced each individual, and now more Korean government also cooperating people. Oh, now they realize more. This is going to be more important. So hopefully next year maybe even more better. You know, there are a little more funding, and I hope invite more founders, even more filmmakers come over to Korea and enjoy our new city.
Thank you.